Hello, I'm Jackie Wilson, your real estate startup coach, and it is good to be back with you guys again today or tonight or whatever time you might be looking at this video. The reason that we're making this video tonight is that I wanted to tell you a little bit about where I came from and how I got in the real estate business and my journey to success. I believe that everybody can be successful regardless of where you came from or regardless of your background or anything if you want to be successful. I was raised by a single mom in a small town in Georgia. That town had about 3,000 people when I was coming up. It has about 4,900 now. The county had about 20,000. I think the county might have somewhere between 25 and 30,000 now. But I moved out of that town when I was about 20 years old. I was wondering what I was going to do with my life, how I was going to make it. When I left that county, I had gotten a GED because we were so poor. When I was in high school, I remember going to school with holes in my pants. And I hated going to school with holes in my pants. And back then, it wasn't the style to have a hole in your pants. So when I got 19, I moved out of that town. I moved out, as I said, I had a GED. I was going to try to make it. And I moved to another town. It was a small industrial town. I went to work in a local plant making carpet. And I worked there for several years. But I found out that I didn't really want to do that all my life. And so I thought to myself, what can I do in order to make it? And how can I make it? So I was in that little town for a while, working in that plant, and I would read books all the time, trying to find out how can I get out of this plant. My family never had anything. I never had anyone that could train me as to be a professional or how to make good money. They was happy to make $10, $15 an hour. But I wanted to do something more. I had dreams in it, I had vision in it. But I didn't know how to do it. Didn't have no one to take me by the hand and take me and show me how to do it. So what I did, I began to read books. I began to listen to tapes. I began to go to different seminars and different things to try to, I guess you would say, get rich quick. I wanted to do something. I did not want to live my whole life from paycheck to paycheck. And so I began to get on the right track and do things that no one in my family ever done before. I remember I went to barber school, and I graduated from barber school. And I thought I was going to make it as being a barber, and done very successful at being a barber. After barber school, I think I went to Bible college. Went to Bible college, stayed 2 years in that. And, of course, you don't make money when you get out of Bible college. So I got barber school, Bible college. What am I going to do? So I moved to another town. I think it had about 20,000 people in it. And I started living there, cutting hair and doing things such as that. Later on, I went back and bought the barber school. I thought I wanted to be on the barber school. I found out real quick that you didn't make a whole lot of money owning a barber school. You made more money being a barber. And so where would I go from there? I went and got my insurance license. I thought that would be my thing. I've done pretty good in insurance, made money, and even to this day I'm still a licensed agent. But I don't do that. But one night I was listening to one of the guys, one of the gurus on TV, had these two midgets, and they was talking about buying houses. And I went and to the seminar that they was going to have in town that day. And I went to that seminar to see, was this thing real? Could you really buy houses with no money down? So I went and I looked at the course and didn't do anything with it. Well, they came back again later on, same guys, how to buy a house with no money down. Well, at that time, I had made a little money in the insurance business, and I thought, well, let me buy this course. And that course cost me $1,100. I bought that course and I came home and consumed that course. I listened to every tape, read everything, and just as anything else, you got to go through a learning curve. So I went through that learning curve and I laid that course down, didn't do anything with it for a whole year. Stayed in insurance a little while longer. And so one day I was listening to, I forgot this guy's name, he was talking about buying notes. I said, well, let me look at this thing and see if I can buy some notes. So I ordered that course to buy notes, and I run an ad in the paper. I want to buy notes. And what happened, people began to call me about real estate. They thought I was going to buy real estate. I told them I wanted to buy real estate notes, but they thought I was buying real estate. I said, whoa, what's going on here? And so I picked my course back up out of the closet and dusted it off and began to read it. Went over it again, and so had got in my mind by then. And I went over it again, and I said, maybe I can do this thing. Maybe I can buy and sell houses. And I started that day and to this day buying and selling houses. It was soon thereafter I had several $1 million worth of houses. I think this has got to be, this can't be real that I'm buying these houses and never going to the bank. Never went to the bank. I went to the bank, I guess, a couple of times, but I didn't have to. And but I remember buying my first house. I was so afraid of what would happen. I got this guy that says, well, I'm going to give you my house on a subject to deal. I had studied a course about subject to and what the subject to was all about. And this guy actually signed his house over to me. What was I going to do with this house that this guy's actually given me? I hadn't paid anything down, hadn't went to the bank, hadn't did anything. He just signed it over to me because he didn't want it anymore. I went and got me a local attorney, and I told him, I said, this guy's giving me this house, and I need you to do the paperwork for me. Well, he done the paperwork for me. He didn't understand it. He said, how can he give you this house? And I thought, well, he's giving it to me. So I explained to the attorney that what happens here is that I'm going to buy the house from the guy. He's going to get out from the note. Bank's going to continue to get their money. Then I'm going to sell a house to someone else, and they're going to get a house that they never would have been able to get. And then I'm going to make money from it. From that day on, I thought, well, I'll make it. And I did. And from that, I bought my dream house. Remember the day that I bought in a neighborhood a house of $500,000. $500,000 home. Me, country boy with GED, buying a $500,000 home. It wasn't a few months later in that same neighborhood, there was this other guy wanting to sell his house. And he signed his house over to me. So I'm in the neighborhood with two houses, both worth for $500,000. And neither one hadn't paid anything down. On the $500,000 home, I got $30,000 at closing. So I'm doing it now. I'm making money in the real estate business. At that time, from that time, I put my kid in a private school. And he began to go to a private school. And I had another boy, put him in a private school. He began to go to a private school. And I only have a high school education. And a GED is at that. So who can do this business? Anybody can do this business. Real estate investing, all you got to do is learn a few simple steps. What are those steps? A step is that you find houses, put them under contract, and let your attorney do the paperwork, and then you sell those houses. Pretty simple. And so I've been very successful at real estate investing. That's why I thought, well, let me teach this course. I can teach this course to ordinary people that wants to make money. But I've taught to other people as well. I've got a school teacher that I've taught. I've got a guy from Romania that I've taught. I've got an internet marketer that I've taught. I've got tons of people that I've taught with a high school education. What you need is a desire to succeed. You need to get a plan and follow that plan. And you can make it from wherever you are, regardless of the size of your town. What really makes a difference is the size of your dream and your determination to succeed. If you got determination to succeed, you could do this without a doubt. Remember one investor that I talked to, he didn't even have a high school education. He bought and sold as many houses in the county in which I live than anybody in this county. The banker told him, said, man, you must be crazy the way you buy and sell houses. There's no way in the world this is supposed to work. But it works for him. It'll work for you too. If you'll learn this system and do what we talked about, you can be successful. You can do it with an 8th grade education. I can take a 16-year-old boy, get him out of high school, and teach him how to do this business, and he earn money. Guys, you can be very successful in real estate investing business if you just apply yourself. It don't take a rocket scientist to learn this. So that's me. That's where I started from. Where I'm at now is teaching the course and teaching other people how to be successful. I think you need to be successful. I think you need to be financially successful. I think if you'll stick with this course, you can be successful. So this is Jackie Wilson, your real estate startup coach, your coach for success. Country boy from Georgia, successful in real estate investing. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.